What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of The Block is Hot. Today is Monday, which means we're going over this week's best upcoming CNFT mints. Before we get started here, I just want to remind everyone to do your own research. This is not investment advice. I'm simply going over projects that I think have a lot of potential. And this week, there are only 3 projects that I'm going to be going over. I've been a lot more picky. I've been a lot more hands-off when it comes to these different mints. And if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know why. I just don't think the volume supports getting into a lot of these random projects, and for that reason I am extremely picky. Now that all that crap is out of the way, guys, let's get into project number 1. Project number 1 on our list today, and probably the only project that I'm minting this week, is the Cornucopias GTI Javelin. The GTI Javelin is a new vehicle that they are releasing tomorrow, March 15th, and there's going to be 8,900 of these Javelins at 95 ADA each. Now, guys, even though I'm a little bit frustrated that they dropped another 8,900 vehicles within 2 weeks of their first sale, I have to admit here, these are absolutely beautiful, they're sexy, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I definitely want one, just personally. I think they're sick. They have the dual jet engines in the back. The color of the clouds are reflecting off of the paint job. You had that cold air intake in the front. And even though we don't know a ton about the utility that these are gonna have, we do know that we're gonna be able to race these around. We're gonna get around this metaverse very, very quickly on these things. And we also know that we're gonna be able to rent these out to other people. So just imagine, guys, and look how fast this is going. Just imagine a world where we put on a VR headset, we jump into this metaverse. We were able to get these vehicles super early before this metaverse and game even came out, like before people even knew about this project. We then are on these super fast jets that we can get anywhere in the map very, very quickly because they're going 600 miles an hour. We can then have a VR headset on and have real life controls, kind of like a Formula One driving controls or flight simulator controls. And we can literally race other people and potentially make money from this, or at the very least, rent them out to other people. It almost reminds me of Star Wars when I think it was like Luke Skywalker, like when he was first getting the Force, when he was just a little kid, he was like racing in like the desert with one of these, but like the engines were on the side and it looked really crazy. This is what it's reminding me of. This is super, super dope. And I love to see how they've already designed all this and they already have a lot of the mechanics down on the technical end. Yes, I'm frustrated that they released these bubble jets 2 weeks ago, and honestly, these bubble jets look like crap compared to this GTI Javelin. Yes, I think that it impacted the price significantly, and that's why I sold my bubble jets in the short term. But I also do believe that this money really is going to go towards building this project. And I also believe that these are going to be very, very valuable in the future as far as a long-term investment goes. And I also heard from a couple different people, and I'm not 100% sure on this yet, that this is going to be the last vehicle release in a while. I think that they could have definitely spread these releases out so it wouldn't hurt these bubble jets as much, but I'm not even complaining too much because this means that we can change and adapt our strategy around what they're doing. Now, what do I think is personally going to happen with these bubble jets, with these bikes, and what is my personal strategy? Well, here's the deal, guys. This 128, I think it's going to go lower. I know some of this is already priced in because people were panicking about this another vehicle sale, but I think that the panic was well warranted because you're pretty much almost doubling the amount of supply of vehicles under one project's ecosystem. So I think these are actually going to drop a little bit more. I think that they could get a bounce at 120, which was the mint price, but I personally think that 110 to 100 is a little bit more likely. If these do get down to 100 to 110, then that'll be a good buying opportunity as far as a long-term plan, in my opinion. I think these jets are still going to sell out relatively quickly just because there's so much hype and demand on them. The big thing is that they are doing one transaction at a time. So the key is with this sort of drop, guys, to get as many wallets in the queue as possible. That's how I was able to get 15 bubble jets. You got to get a lot of different wallets in queue, guys. And then when you're actually able to mint, you mint these. Now there's a 45% chance that you're going to get a common. And I think that if you do get a common, it's going to be an L in the short term. I think there's a world where commons actually go below mint price, or they're just so near mint price that after fees, you're going to, lose money if you sell it. However, even if you get a common and potentially are down in the short term, I think it's a no-brainer going for, because if you get anything above a common, which is a 55% chance, I think you're going to have the ability to either quick flip it for a little bit of money, or in my opinion, the better move, just hold it as a long-term investment and hopefully make some money from that. Now, I don't like making price predictions, but I'm going to for this project because we already see another one of their vehicles, so we could potentially predict where this next one is going to go. Now, I do think that some of this price is already factored in because a lot of people have been selling because of the Javelin release. So I do think that we could get a pop off from these guys, the day after these bikes are done selling and, things calm down and people, reinvest, whatever the case is. But regardless, these jets were 120 as a retail price or a mint price, and now they're going for 128. So this is an L in the short term, and I think that's what's going to happen with the bikes in the short term as well. I think that the bikes could potentially go for around mint price, around that 95 ADA off the rip, and they could potentially go even lower just depending on how things go, maybe, bottom at 80. I think the uncommons, which the uncommons here, guys, for these bubble jets are going for like 150 or 160 right now, I believe. Yes, they're going for 150. Instead of 150, maybe the uncommons for those bikes go for like 120, 130 instead of that 150, just because they are a little bit cheaper. And I think these bubble jets are actually more valuable when it comes to the game and when it comes to the metaverse than these bikes are going to be. The rares are 240, so potentially if you pulled a rare bike, maybe you could get 200 out of it. And let's just see how the legendary goes. And the legendary 633, so maybe you'd get like 500, 550 for those bikes at that price. Now, the big thing is, guys, if you're able to get those bikes really quickly and they come in your wallet really fast, it's going to be potentially better to sell them quickly if you can get it for more money than the prices I just listed, because that's kind of what happened with these bubble jets. Like, these legendaries were going for over 1,000 right off the rip, so I would potentially try to sell them right away if you get yours right away, if you can get more money than the bubble jets for the corresponding rarity. Sorry I went so deep into those bubble jets and those bikes, guys. To me, that is the best mint of the week, and because I'm not going over a bunch of mints in this video, I felt like it was a good idea to go really into depth of that one, because I think that one has the most potential. With all that being said, though, we are on project number 2, and that is World of Cardano. This is another metaverse project that is also releasing tomorrow. They are releasing 7,500 plots of their land out of 30,000, and the price is going to be 75 ADA per plot. Now, I've already gone over this project in my last upcoming CNFT Mint video, so if you want a deeper dive than the summary I'm about to give, make sure you go and check it out. But to summarize this, World of Cardano is another metaverse project, but they're actually doing something pretty cool, and that's having different characteristics for their land. So for example, you can get forest land, you could get magma land, you can get water land, and all of these different pieces of land have different metadata, and there's going to be different utilities and pros and cons depending on what characteristic your land is. On top of getting a random characteristic in your land, you're also going to get a random land size. So there's a 67% chance that you're going to get a 1x1 parcel, which is just one plot. And in that plot, it's going to be kind of a personal plot where you can have your house and do different stuff in the game. The 2x2 plot, which is 4 plots, has a 26% chance of happening. And in this plot, you're going to be able to have businesses and make money with their token that they're creating, like the World of Cardano token. The last thing that you can get is a 9 plot, which is a 5% chance. And if you get one of these 9 plots, you're actually going to be able to host different events in this metaverse. Think of like a stadium potentially, or something along those lines. There is a lot of hype for this project. They have a good amount of Twitter followers, and the engagement in the Discord, as well as the amount of people boosting the Discord, is pretty damn high in my opinion. They're also going to be taking these royalties and reinvesting them into the game in different ways. They're going to have their coin. If you own this land, you're going to get different airdrops. You're going to have white listings to other stuff in the future. You're going to get token airdrops. Pretty cool stuff. It seems like one of those projects that you get into and you just hold the land for a while, and as more stuff comes out in the future, you're really going to be able to take advantage with all of these different white listing benefits. Now, my only problem with this project is that they're launching 7,500 pieces of land at 75 ADA each, while the market isn't doing super well, and there's been a huge influx of these metaverse projects. I mean, look at Metadams, guys. They also released around 6,400 plots of land, which isn't much less than this project, and they were launching for 75 ADA each. Now, just a week later, they're going for about 87 to 88. So after you take away that 5% royalty and after you get 2% to JPEG Store, you're actually losing money in the short term as far as the floor goes. And Metadams was a lot more hyped up than this. Metadams had a lot more going for it as far as having a bunch of this stuff ready and already made. So in my opinion, only go for World of Cardano if you're looking to hold it as a long-term investment, because I think in the short term, you're actually going to lose money unless you get lucky and get one of those bigger plot sizes. The last project on our list today, guys, is Pendulum, and they are releasing 5,000 of their NFTs on March 16th, and they're going to cost 100 ADA each. So why am I bringing this project up? Well, guys, I personally think the art is actually really good, and they do stand out, and they have a lot of different designs. They have a lot of different layers. I mean, these really do look cool. Now, how do I feel about the project in general, and why am I personally not minting it? Well, I think this project looks really cool, like I said, but they're breaking my number one rule, and that's the fact that they don't have a website. I don't understand this. Why are you going to make art that looks this good, that obviously took a ton of time to make, and not make a website before you release? And in the fact it says their website is coming soon, but it makes absolutely no sense to me why they're doing that. And just the fact that they don't have a website is going to be the sole reason that I don't mint this project. As far as their marketing goes and their engagement, they're actually doing a really great job. They have 4,500 followers. They've been making posts since like October or November. I mean, look, guys, they were literally around in November 5th showcasing some of this art. So it's really cool. I mean, even October. So it's really cool how they've been taking the time to actually build this up and make really high quality art. Like, it looks great, and their engagement is showing that. A lot of these new pictures, guys, on their Twitter are getting 111 likes, 168 likes, 281 likes. Like, that is actually a pretty good ratio. And one of the big things that this team was saying is that they don't care about how fast they sell out. They really just want to showcase this art and have people buy it for the art and the art alone. Now, it scares me to buy art just for art, because a lot of times hype dies down and things will go down over time unless you're bringing some sort of hype back. I mean, look at all of these really great projects that have really great art. The only one that I can see that has been doing well just because of the art was Jarheads. All of the other projects that are art-based really haven't been doing too well. And that's what happened with Mystic Monks. That's what happened with Mandrills. That's what happened with Nifties. Like, it's crazy, guys. A lot of these art-based ones just haven't been doing super well. So the fact that they want 100 ADA and they're making 5,000 of them is 500,000 ADA. We haven't even been getting 1 million ADA on average in the entire market as a whole. So I expect this to be a slower sellout. I expect that a lot of people that are getting into this, that are trying to quick flip it, I expect a lot of them to lose money, and I do expect this to go under mint in the short term. Now, if they add the website in the future and they show their roadmap and they have a white paper and it's a lot more than art and it looks really, really great, then I expect that this could be a very good long-term investment. But without having a website and without having all that information and with barely having any announcements, like, how the heck am I supposed to make an opinion on this? It really sucks, because I do like the art. I do think the art stands out. I just feel like they needed to do a few more things before launching, and it doesn't really make sense to me how you guys would be making posts since October and really taking your time with this and really spending a lot of time on making high quality art, and then just completely ignoring all of the other aspects that go into an NFT project, such as just having a website and a roadmap. With all that being said, though, guys, if you think this art looks cool, then buy it and hold it for a long-term investment, and don't care if the short-term doesn't do well. And just a little bit of speculation for you guys, because speculation is really going crazy in my mind right now. I think they're doing this on purpose. I think that there's no way in my mind that a team with this level of art that has been working since October doesn't have amazing things planned. Like, I really think, because I saw a couple of tweets from them, hey, we only want people to buy it for the art. I really think, just speculation, that they purposely haven't released any other information simply because that means that the only information we have is the art. And maybe once everyone buys it and they know everyone bought it for the right reason, which was the art and the community, maybe once that happens, they're going to drop all that other stuff. And maybe there's some absolute gems that they're going to reward people that bought in before announcing that stuff. Just some speculation. I only like buying stuff on based on what I see, and I personally just don't see enough for me to make a decision yet. But it's up to you guys. That pretty much wraps up this week's upcoming CNFTs. As you notice, guys, there isn't too much going on. I really personally am only going to focus on Cornucopias because I think that's going to be the biggest dub, but I think World of Cardano and Pendulum both have a lot of potential as well. But if you enjoyed this video or if you learned something, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Also join our community Discord in the description, and I hope everyone here has an awesome day.